everyone, welcome to my channel, Moni's Mission. I'm here today to show you my recipe that all my coworkers have been raving about. They're super excited. They have been asking me to do a video, and I am finally doing this video for my coworkers and for you out there in YouTube. My mission is to help as many people as I can to show them that going vegan is easy. I love food. I know a lot of you love food out there, and I'm trying just to show you simple ways because I never have a lot of time. I'm always short on time. I have kids. I know many of you are super busy out there, and I know what you're going through. So I'm here to show you today this recipe. I learned this recipe a few weeks ago, and the special ingredient in this recipe is black beans. I know it sounds weird. Black beans aren't the kind of things that you think about when you think about brownies. So today we're gonna make gluten-free, vegan black bean brownies. I know, it sounds weird, but they are really good. A lot of people love them. I love them too, and we're gonna go ahead and get started on making them right now. So the first thing in this recipe that we are gonna be using is obviously black beans. My go-to, not any specific name brand, you can use any kind of beans that you want to, but today I used these beans. I always look for organic beans because they're the ones that are gonna have as many nutrients as you like. And we're gonna go ahead and we're looking for beans that have the lowest amount of sodium as well. You need some type of cocoa powder, and today I have Hershey's cocoa powder. You can use any type of cocoa powder that there's many different brands out there. Make sure it says 100% cacao. I like to use the unsweetened one because we're gonna go ahead and add our own sweeteners to the recipe. The most important ingredient also is oats. We like to use gluten-free oats. There's a lot of different types of oats out there, and specifically we use gluten-free because my husband has sensitivity issues in his stomach. And so this is the brand that we like to use. We're gonna be using a little bit of salt in my recipes. The type of salt that I like to use is pink Himalayan salt. You can find this in many stores, many different type of brands as well. But I find most of my ingredients at Safeway. For the sweetener, we're not gonna be using any sugar today. We're gonna be using maple syrup. I get a lot of my maple syrup. The one that we get is from Whole Foods. But like I said, there's also many different brands out there as well. This recipe calls for 1/4 of a cup of coconut oil, and instead of coconut oil, I go ahead and I use applesauce. I know it sounds weird, but it actually gives it a different type of texture and consistency when you're mixing this recipe. First, we're gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract in the recipe and some baking powder. I don't know about you guys, but I like chocolate chips. This is the brand that I found on Amazon. They also carry it at Whole Foods now. It is vegan chocolate chips. They look like chocolate chips and they taste like chocolate chips, so that's why I like this brand. So we're gonna go ahead and get started now. I have preheated the oven to 350 degrees. And right now, I'm waiting for that to preheat, and we're gonna get started on putting every single thing that I just showed you into the food processor. So I have opened the can of black beans and I have rinsed them. Make sure you go ahead and open it, drain out all the stuff that's inside of the can, and rinse them as much as you can before entering them into the food processor. We're gonna go ahead and add the beans in the food processor. Make sure the blade is pushed down all the way. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder or carob powder. Not many people like cocoa powder, so you can use cocoa powder or carob powder. So we're adding 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. We're going to add a half a cup of oats evenly into the food processor. A fourth of a teaspoon of salt. So the recipe calls for a third a cup of pure maple syrup, and then it also says 2 tablespoons of raw cane sugar or stevia, or we can increase maple syrup to half a cup, so that's what I go ahead and do. I don't like to add extra sweeteners inside. I like to just keep it as organic as I can. We're now adding half a cup of maple syrup into the food processor. Next we're going to take the applesauce, and it calls for 1/4 cup coconut oil or 1/4 cup applesauce, and we're using unsweetened applesauce. So we're adding half a teaspoon of baking powder. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Sometimes I like to add a little bit of cinnamon. It depends on who I'm making them for. Cinnamon or any little ingredient can give it a totally different type of flavor. And then we're going to go ahead and process it. There are still chunkier pieces of the oats inside, but if you don't want chunky pieces of oats inside yours, you can go ahead and start that first in the recipe and then blend it by itself and then add all the ingredients on top. On top of it. After you've mixed everything into the food processor, you can now add chocolate chips if you like. I'm going to go ahead and add a half a cup of chocolate chips to my recipe. You can always add more, it doesn't hurt. Go ahead and take a brownie pan. This is an 8x8 size. And then I kind of pre-greased it with a little bit of vegan butter, but you can use vegan cooking spray or however you want to grease the pan.
Okay.
to show you. It's all ready to go. It's in the pan. And we're gonna go ahead and put it into the oven. Put it in the oven for about 15 to 18 minutes. If you want them crispier on top, you leave them in a little bit longer, 18 minutes. I like to leave them right at 15 to 16. So we'll check on them in a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and put them in the oven now. So here we have the finished product. I just took it out of the oven and I wanted it to cool down faster, so I put it in the refrigerator for just a few minutes. And here it is. These are gluten-free, vegan, black bean brownies. And I made them a little fudgy. Like I said, you can cook them for 15 minutes or you can cook them for 18 minutes. Just don't burn them. So I made mine, I like a lot of chocolate. I made mine really fudgy. And the taste, especially right out of the oven, it melts in your mouth. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you out there on YouTube. And I just wanted to end by saying thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my page and share the recipe so that others can have the same recipe and go ahead and do it themselves. Have a great day.